In a picturesque cottage nestled deep within the enchanted forest, lived a beautiful young maiden named Snow White. With skin as fair as snow and lips as red as roses, she was admired by all who knew her. But despite her beauty, Snow White was kind-hearted and gentle, loved by both animals and humans alike. Snow White's life took a tragic turn when her wicked stepmother, the Queen, became consumed by jealousy over her beauty. Determined to rid herself of Snow White's presence, the Queen ordered her huntsman to take Snow White deep into the forest and ensure she never returned. Heartbroken and terrified, Snow White fled into the depths of the forest, where she stumbled upon a quaint cottage hidden among the trees. Exhausted from her journey, she entered the cottage and found it to be inhabited by 7 tiny dwarfs. The dwarfs, named Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, Dopey, and Doc, welcomed Snow White with open arms, charmed by her kindness and beauty. They offered her shelter and protection, and Snow White, grateful for their hospitality, agreed to stay and help them with their chores. As the days passed, Snow White and the dwarfs formed a deep bond, their days filled with laughter and companionship. Snow White's gentle nature brought joy and warmth to the cottage, and the dwarfs grew to love her like a sister. Meanwhile, back at the castle, the Queen's jealousy festered, and she concocted a wicked plan to rid herself of Snow White once and for all. Disguising herself as an old peddler woman, the Queen offered Snow White a poisoned apple, claiming it would grant her deepest wishes. Unaware of the Queen's deceit, Snow White bit into the apple and fell into a deep, death-like slumber. Devastated by her apparent demise, the dwarfs built a glass coffin for Snow White and placed it in the forest, where they could visit her and mourn her loss. But fate had other plans in store for Snow White. A handsome prince, enchanted by her beauty, came across her glass coffin in the forest, and, overcome with love and sadness, kissed her tenderly. With true love's kiss, Snow White awoke from her slumber, her beauty and kindness shining brighter than ever. Overjoyed to be reunited with her prince, Snow White bid farewell to the dwarfs and returned to the castle, where she lived happily ever after, ruling the kingdom with love and compassion. And though the Queen's jealousy had brought hardship and sorrow, it was ultimately love and kindness that prevailed in the enchanted forest.